Let's fight. Welcome in the ring, wherever you're picking us up from, guys. Good to have each and every one of you here with us, making sure that I am ready to go. Good to have you guys. Good to have you guys on. Good to have you guys on. Where are you joining us from tonight, folks? As you come on, we invite you to share the live stream wherever you guys are going to join us from. Great to have each and every one of you in the ring this evening, guys. It's Talk Back Thursday, so I want you guys to have your uh, dials, your finger on the dial there, guys. I want you guys to have your finger on that dial there. It's Talk Back Thursday, and we are so happy to have all of you in the house joining us, wherever you guys are joining us from. It was a great day at our end. We aren't going to complain. There are things you can complain about, but we are not going to complain this evening at all. Good to see each and every one of you with us tonight. And again, it's Talk Back Thursday. We intend to hear from some of you when the time is right. Don't get too excited yet, folks. Good to have all of you there on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you guys are picking us up from. And we're ensuring that we are set at our end, that you share the live stream when we are on. And we know that you guys are going to do that even now. Thanks very much. We're ensuring that we are set at our end. Set at our end, folks. Good to have all of you guys. Sharon Griffith and Marsha Glasgow. Is it Randy Singh, Coretta Fraser Kingston, Marcia Corias? Is that the name? I also see Andrea McDonald, Yolanda Moore, Lynette Goodman. All of you great folks. I might not be able to call all of the names this evening. I really want to get into the program. So much to share with you guys. Deborah, Sharona Lynch, and Delon Benjamin. Good to have all you guys. Quasi Hunt, Willetta Bess, and Carly Hendy, Braffett, Terry Simon, Mavis Henry. Good to have so many of you guys with us this evening. Really, really good to have so many of you guys with us this evening. Auntie Sandra Hanover there from Diamond, and Paulette Hines, Brenda Braffett. Oh my God, so heartened to see all of you guys. Mike Ducaran joining us from Canada, and Peter Sales, Hazel Gibson, and Samantha Jilks. Guys, good to have so many of you. Raphael Official, and Hazelyn King, Anthony Stepping Stone, Amanda Daniels, Angeli, Joan Jeffrey, Brennan Thompson, Orwell John Cook, and Leslyn Clark, Denise Mitchell, and Melinda McKenzie, Patricia Asana, Jacqueline Pastano. Good to see so many of you guys share the live stream. As you come on, we are ready to go. Ready to go, folks. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Don't let nobody steal your joy in this place, guys. There's lots we can complain about, but we are not going to complain. As soon as we hit that magic number at our end, we are going to be ready to go. Happy to have so many. Let me fix my jacket. The back of my jacket is a little tilted. Good. Gotta make sure I'm put together for you folks. You guys are special to us. You guys are very, very special to us. Good to have all of you guys. Good to have all of you guys. And we encourage you to share the live stream. Share the live stream, guys. Share the live stream. Yep. And it's Talk Back Thursday. So we want to hear from you on some of the issues that we are going to share, and also any issue of concern to you. Bear with us a couple minutes. We're going to wait until we get to that magic number, and then we are going to be on, guys. So bear with us. And we are going to be on. Have no fear. Have no fear, folks. Share the live stream again. Welcome to each and every one of you who are joining us. Each and every one of you who are joining us. We're just ensuring that systems are right at the back end. And we guys are going to be good to go. Good to go. Yep. Good to see so many of you, hundreds of you already joining us. Hundreds of you already joining us. We are so grateful, guys. We are so grateful. We are so grateful. Let me see who we have here. I see, is it Stefan Jarvis and Ingrid Pearson, Lily Gulliver. Good to have so many of you. Good to have so many of you here, guys. We are tremendously grateful. We have so many of you joining us. Tremendously grateful. We have so many of you guys joining us, and we are going to have a guest who is going to be joining us perhaps a little later on in the show, talking a bit about mental health as well. Mental health as well. So, guys, we want you guys to stay close, and we are going to get on the ball shortly. We're going to get on the ball shortly. So, bear with us this evening. Bear with us this evening as we get things started. Good to have so many of you, so many of you. We are so privileged, guys. You do not imagine how we privileged. Glenn and Tony and Donna Fresco again. Yvonne joining us on Twitter, joining us from the Bel Air. Yvonne, we call Twitter it's the Prado 2 of the social media networks, and we got the suburbs, which is YouTube, and then we got the Get Out Facebook. Gladys Mingo, good to see you there as well, guys. We are going to be set to go in just another minute or so. I see Harry Bisnot is telling us hello. Good to see you, Harry. And thanks for switching to App New AFC. Thank you there, Harry Bisnot, who communicated with us a little early on in the day that he is now switching to App New AFC. Good to see you, Harry, and thanks for joining the coalition. Yep, and Rhonda Lane and so many of you, Sarah Andrews, guys, good to have you. We're going to get right into our hot topics in another couple minutes. Guys, bear with us, and we're going to have a guest or two who are going to be joining us. We are still tracking quite a few stories locally, and we want to make sure Brando, Rahul Brando Ramatar, good to see you. And we're going to ask you guys to hold for us. We're going to have a guest or two just after, just about 25 to half hour into the program, and then we're going to be good to go. So stand by, guys. Stand by, guys. We're going to be talking so much to share with you guys this evening. We're just going to ask you guys to bear with us for a minute or two. We want to make sure that all our systems are firing at our end. Brenda Prophet says it's time to fight, folks. Let's fight. We hope you guys have had a good day wherever you're joining us from. Whether you're at home here in Guyana, you're in the diaspora. For some folks joining us in the diaspora is the Caribbean. And some folks is as close as Suriname. Some of you guys join us from Trinidad and Jamaica and Barbados. Some folks are joining us from North America, Region 11 there, Brooklyn and Queens and all of those places, Connecticut. And some folks are joining us from Canada and further afield. Guys, great to have so many of you. As you come on, we encourage you guys to share the live stream. And maybe I switch things up this evening and do things a little bit different and bring our hot topics a couple minutes into the program. Maybe that is the way we should go this evening. I think I'm going to switch things up this evening just for you guys. I'm going to be talking with a young lady, Maria Allen, and she is joining us from the USA. And I know we haven't had a lot to talk about, really and truly, as part of COVID-19, our mental health. And Miss Allen is a professional in this area, and she's going to talk to us about why mental health is very important, why we should take stock of our mental health, especially during this COVID pandemic. And folks, especially at home here in Guyana, where so much is happening. So I think we're going to do that this evening. We're going to switch things up a little bit this evening, and then we're going to bring you guys the hot topics a little later on in the program, perhaps halfway into our program when we were at about 8:30 for those of you who are watching your clock. So without any further ado, why don't I welcome Maria Allen this evening?
Hello.
Maria,
hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi,
A little more audio can work as well. And if you can center a little bit for us so our viewers can see a little more of you, we'd be very, very grateful.
Let me know how it goes. Is that it?
You have to go more to your, yes, that's perfect.
It. Okay, hi.
And a little closer too. You can come a little closer. We don't bite on Thursdays.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Great to have you. Maria, so because you are here already and backstage, we're going to take the interview first. So tell our viewers around the world a little bit about yourself, and then we get into the discussion on why mental health is so important during COVID-19 and the pandemic and everything else that's happening in our world today. Ms. Allen.
Well, my name is Maria Allen. I'm a therapist. I have been a mental health case manager working with those that are affected with mood disorders, depression, anxiety for 5 years or more. And I am a Guyanese. I was originally born in Guyana. I migrated early, at an early age of 13. So I've lived in the US for over 20 years. So I've always been in the business of helping people, and always wanted to give back to Guyana. And over the years, I've seen the spike in suicide and intimate partner domestic violence. And there seemed not to be a really stable, consistent foundation in Guyana where people can go and not only get the resources, but are supported and are comfortable in discussing their mental health diagnosis or situation. It is more, you know, important now due to COVID, because we have, as we all know, the isolation going on. People are in close quarters for long periods of time. And research have shown that since the pandemic, for over what, a year and a half, more than a year and a half, we've been in this situation.
Yep. Yep.
Domestic violence have risen tremendously. And children are also being greatly affected because they depend on their parents, and parents don't know what to do, which way to turn, and they cannot give any kind of reassurance that everything will be okay, because as parents, we don't know that ourselves, in regards to what's happening with the pandemic. And a lot of that is attributing to the also rise in mental health, because especially in low economic countries, they don't have the resources. A lot of people have lost their jobs, their housing, and there's no resource, nowhere to go, nobody to turn to. So people are turning to addiction, alcohol, substance, and, as I stated, domestic violence, and then we have the suicide. So it is imperative for people to understand mental health disorder from an informational standpoint, because when we don't understand something, it is very hard for us to take it in, for us to accept it, especially when you have stigma and culture that encompasses all of that. So providing information and meeting the people where they are at within those communities, especially those rural communities, it is very important, so people understand and know that they have the support. And I don't see that foundation in Guyana. I see that there, it's being worked on. Um, the new administration talking about child trafficking, but where is the foundation for that? You can stop a thing, but what happens after the fact? Where do the children go? Also, when I frequent Guyana, I would always go to the orphanages and I would do a feeding, whether it's for breakfast or lunch. And I always get the information as to what happens when that child leaves when they turn 18. They say, well, if they have no families, then they're put out to the street. There is no foundation of transitional housing for those children to go to, so that they can be taught life skills and how to take care of themselves in an efficient way. And that is not implemented in the country. And it baffles me to really understand, why isn't that incorporated into the budgeting when the administration takes over? Why is it such on a back burner when you can obviously see that suicide and domestic violence is an epidemic in your country? So it really troubles me. And I have been trying to give back as much as I possibly can through getting myself in the door. I've tried to, well, I've written the previous administration, the first lady, and I have not gotten a response back from her. And I've reached out to other foundations within Guyana. I haven't gotten a response. So it's me trying to, interject myself to give the people the information, where I feel the workshops within those rural areas where you meet the people where they're at and you provide that information to them, and give them the tools that they need to take care of themselves on a mental health aspect. Because if you're not mentally well, obviously we all know you can't function. And
Yeah.
the daily things that you need for basic living, it's a struggle. And our men, our Black men, they're struggling tremendously because of the culture that we grew up in, that you're not supposed to show your emotions, you're not supposed to complain, you're a provider, you're a protector. And they're not seeing in my opinion, as a human being, that they have feelings that needs to be validated, and those
Mhm.
emotions need to go somewhere. They need to understand how to deal with their emotions, and this is why domestic violence is so prevalent. Because,
So
go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, I was going to ask, as we're talking about mental health, and for those persons, especially at home here in Guyana,
Mhm.
what would be like common signs you would look for to as an indication that you might need to look at this particular area of your life?
If you pay attention to a person, everybody has a pattern, right? We all have patterns on our what we do daily. And if you pay attention to that person and you see that the pattern of that person have changed, you see that they're drinking excessively, because that is prevalent in men. This is why men, they commit more suicides than women. Women try it more, but men succeed more than women because they turn to substance and addiction. So if you see that they're having an alcohol problem, or they started to use substance, or they're not, as jolly as they are, or some people, they're in bed, they're not doing the things that they used to do before, they're not engaging in the activities that they used to before. Ask them if there is something that's going on, if it's something troubling them. Ask them what type of help that they need, instead of saying, oh my gosh, he's drinking a lot, don't pay him no mind, he's just a drunk, and just dismiss it.
Yeah.
Because when people are having, mental health disturbances, they want to be seen, they want to be heard, and they want to be validated for the feelings that they are experiencing. They're not a tree, they're a person, and they have a feel, they have feelings, and it needs to be validated. So
And you
those
did
are
say
some of
early
the
on,
signs.
and you
Hmm.
did say early on that physical abuse could also be a sign that
Yes,
this person has some
absolutely.
mental health challenges.
Absolutely. Physical abuse, mental abuse, psychological abuse, sexual abuse, financial abuse. Because if a woman is in a home and she does not control the finances, her spouse does, and he controls her through the finances, that's an abuse. People
Yeah.
don't understand that that's a sense of abuse. And so when you don't get the support from your community or your family, you go for help, and they're saying, well, at least he's supportive and he takes care of the family, what is the problem? But they don't grasp the entirety of the situation, of how it's affecting that person on a psychological standpoint.
Great. And you did mention family support, community support, and how at this level and even at the governmental level can support be provided. Let's say I have a loved one who I've noticed, is not him or her usual self, his or her usual self. How as a family member I can give support to that person as part of the community, and even at the governmental level, what kinds of policies should we be thinking about in this regard?
Well, in the family standpoint, be supportive. Be supportive and validate the person's feelings. Don't dismiss it. Don't demean them. Don't
Yeah,
make them feel like they're not supposed to have those feelings or those thoughts. And then if it progresses, take them to seek medical help. Take them to get that medical attention that they need. On a governmental standpoint, they need to meet the people where they are at. As you know, Shara, there are a lot of people who live in rural areas who are unable to take the bus to come all the way to Georgetown to come to a free clinic. And then when
yeah,
they do get to the free clinic, the amount of hours they have to wait for services, and sometimes they turn away and they go home without even receiving that service. Let's say they receive the services, sometimes they have to pay for the medication. They have a lot of farmers, and with the pandemic, their crops have died. They're not able to make the amount of money that they used to, pre-pandemic.
yeah,
How are they
yeah.
supposed to afford that? So from a governmental standpoint, they need to have something in the community where people can go and be safe, where I know they have
And we've
services.
actually had some of that here. People who
Right,
are in
exactly.
dire straits because of the flood and so on,
Mhm.
losses, the financial losses and so forth. At least two persons have taken
Yes,
their lives.
yes, exactly. So the government needs to build a strong mental health foundation for its people, and they need to meet people where they're at, because not everyone have the finances to go all the way to Georgetown for services.
Yeah.
They need to have them in each community or they don't have to travel far to get those services, and they don't have to wait that long to get those services. And if they can't afford to pay for it, something should be implemented where they get the financial support to pay for that.
Very well. Maria, let's leave our conversation here and let's call this our first installment, because
Yes.
I know this topic is so vast, and I want us
Yes.
to come back at another time very soon and take
Yes.
another stab at it, because part of what we want to do on this program is to
Yes.
educate our viewers. And I know lots of especially locally, we don't think about mental health, or then when we do think about mental health, we think about some crazy person at the mental
Exactly.
home,
Absolutely.
or we equate being destitute on the streets with being mad, right?
Yes.
With being insane. And so I really want you to come back at some other time very
Anytime.
soon, and let's talk some more about mental health and the role that we all can play, and dive in some more into the policy aspects of how governments can really and truly help its citizens in this way.
And before I leave, I just want people to know as well, my page is Hope and Purpose Inc. And they can go on there, they can ask me questions, they can inbox me if they need to talk to me about anything, and I will be more than happy to help them. It's Hope and Purpose Inc.
Awesome.
on a Facebook, my Facebook page. So thank you
Awesome.
so
And
much for having me on, and I truly
no trouble
appreciate
at
it.
all. And you can also take the liberty of dropping your the link for that page in the comment section on our
Yes,
program. And certain folks are gonna click
I
and
will
want
do
to
that.
see what it's all about. Thanks very much for stopping by
You're
and
very
letting us know
welcome.
about
Thank
our
you.
mental health.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks again.
Thank
Great.
you.
And folks, again, this is Maria Allen, and she is a therapist and specialist in this area. And so, again, we want you guys to be educated. We want you guys to be edified and have all the information. And as in getting all of the information, you can make good decisions concerning whether your political health, your mental health, your social health, and all of those other aspects of your lives. Guys, we ask you to share the live stream. We want to get into the hot topics this evening. We want to get right into the hot topics. Are you guys well tonight? Good to see so many of you. Narayan Sigobin and John, is it Sturge and Nolan Cummins, and all of you guys joining us. Just switching things up a little bit this evening because we already had our sister standing by in the green room. Don't want to have us waiting for half hour. Good to see so many of you guys again. Good to see so many of you guys again. Again, good to see so many of you. And we are going to get right into the hot topics, guys. Share the live stream. So much to discuss with you guys. So much to discuss. So much to discuss. So much to discuss with you folks. So stand by, guys. We're going to get right into the hot topics. And first and foremost, I want us to turn our attention to something that is happening on the international scene. Something that is happening on the international scene, because Joe Biden put out a statement. The president of the United States of America put out a statement today. And Joe says, I'm watching y'all. Basically, that is the summation of the statement. I'm watching y'all here in the Caribbean. I'm watching y'all here in this part of the world's hemisphere. I'm watching y'all. Joe Biden put out a statement concerning Cuba. And some of what he says, folks, has implications. Some of what he said has implications for Guyana. Now, this statement is particular on what's happening in Cuba, and we hope that you guys take the liberty of sharing the live stream. Joe King and Samantha Samuels, Elizabeth Lovell, and Vesta Hardy Rajkumar. Here is some of what Joe Biden said in this statement. He said, I unequivocally condemn the mass detention and sham trials that are unjustly sentencing to prison those who dare to speak out in an effort to intimidate and threaten the Cuban people into silence. That sounds as though he's talking about some people here. That sounds as though Joe Biden is talking about the installed administration. He says that he condemns unequivocally the unjustly sentencing to prison those who dare to speak out in an effort to intimidate and threaten them. He says the Cuban people have the same rights to freedom of expression and peaceful assembly as all peoples. Guyanese, y'all are hearing this. This is Joe Biden. And if the Cuban peoples have this right, then Guyanese, the 6 peoples and the Douglas in Guyana must have this right as well. He says the Cuban people, this is just this afternoon. Just this afternoon, this statement went out from the President of the United States. The Cuban people have the same rights and freedoms and, the same rights to freedom of expression and peaceful assembly as all peoples. The Guyanese people got these rights too. Irfan, you all hearing? Bharat, you all hearing? The right to freedom of expression and peaceful assembly. He went on. He went on to say that part of the sanctions that they're now imposing, the additional sanctions they're imposing on Cuba, this is just the beginning, he said. He says the United States will continue to sanction individuals, responsible for the oppression of the Cuban people. And we can substitute that for the Guyanese people. So Biden watching, he went on to say that he rejects the efforts being made by the Cuban authorities to prevent access to the internet that circumvents the regime's censorship. So Biden and the US government against censoring what people put on the internet because you don't like what they're talking about your regime. I hope Irfan and Nandalal and them hearing. I certain them guys huddle right now over this statement and the implication. He says he do not like the censorship that is taking place in Cuba. The censorship of the internet, on the internet. This man sung as though he's right here talking story. Walita Best, is that not so? Latoya Morris, is that not so? The man sung as though he is right here in our business. Raul Brando, Ramatar, he goes on. Listen to what he says. He says, advancing dignity, Irfan Ali, advancing dignity, Adel Nandalal, advancing dignity, Bharat Jagdeo, and freedom is a top priority of my administration. That's what he said. A top priority of my administration. He says he will continue to pressure the Cuban regime to immediately release wrongfully detained political prisoners. My God, you sure the Cuban people, Joe Biden wrote this stuff, or did he write this to the Irfan Ali administration? He will continue to pressure the regime to immediately release wrongfully detained political prisoners. He like political prisoners. I hope y'all hear it. Right? He says the Cuban people must enjoy their fundamental rights. Well, Guyanese people got fundamental rights as well. This is Biden about 2 or 3 hours ago on his Facebook page. So in case you thought the installed Minister of Foreign Affairs ain't seen it yet, because you know they're slow, they're very pedestrian on these issues. In case you haven't seen it yet, in case the Ali regime, installed regime, hasn't seen it yet, check Biden's page. Check Biden's page. They are against censorship of the internet and using laws to censor people and what they say on the internet. They are against wrongfully detained political prisoners. Right? They say people must enjoy their dignity and freedom and enjoy their fundamental rights. Those are things alien to this government. So I want y'all to know Biden is watching. Biden watching, people. Moving on. Law and order in this country seem to have broken down. Law and order seem to have broken down in this country. We are following, folks, several issues. Several issues we are following. In particular, this issue concerning the Region 9 Regional Executive Officer, Karl Singh. Now, Karl Singh is the jagabat who shot Gladys Emmanuel. Just a couple days ago, in her abdomen, she was in his vehicle. Shot her in her abdomen. And we are reliably informed that the police in Letem preventing Gladys' family from going to visit her. And we are reliably informed that Gladys' health is deteriorating. We are reliably informed. We are reliably informed that they are making an attempt to pay off the family. Reliably informed. And when you look at some of these issues, they point to the fact that this man is acting guilty. This man seemed to be a powerhouse in Region 9, but we got to cut him down to size. We will have to cut him down to size, ladies and gentlemen. There's an attempt to pay off the family. Why wouldn't the police want the family to go and visit Gladys at the hospital? And we're hearing from inside sources that her health is deteriorating. She had a surgery just today. Just today. We are being reliably informed that they are trying to get Gladys to sign a statement to say that it was an accident. These are some of the issues that we are following, ladies and gentlemen. These are some of the issues we are following, and I want you guys to share the live stream because we want to bring the issues to you as they happen and as we know them. As they happen and as we know them, ladies and gentlemen, as they happen and as we know them. So bear with us. We are looking at why hasn't Karl Singh been charged as yet? Isn't that a reasonable question? Why hasn't Karl Singh been charged as yet? The average person would say that that is a reasonable question. Just trying to get our screen up back for you. That's a reasonable question. And we want to know why. And so we're looking at this and other issues. And again, guys, we ask you to share the live stream because we want as many persons to understand what is happening locally here in Guyana, exactly what is happening, and exactly what is at stake here in Guyana. Right? That's what we want folks to know and to understand and to have an appreciation for. Bear with us for a moment. And I'm asking you guys to share the live stream. I'm trying to reach somebody by phone. So if you hear a ringing, and you'll understand why in a second. You'll understand why in a second. We do things differently here. You're going to understand why in a second or two. Bear with us, folks. Share the live stream. Do I have Uncle Dennis on the line?
Hello.
A very good evening. I'm trying to reach Uncle Dennis. Mr. Duncan here. Go right ahead. Guys, tell us if you're hearing Uncle Dennis there.
Yes, yes.
Uncle Dennis, a very good evening. Tell us what is happening on this matter concerning, firstly, ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Dennis is the father of the victim. Uncle Dennis, give us your full name, please. Folks, bear with us. Bear with us as we share the live stream. We're going to get a couple challenges, but we want to get Uncle Dennis on the line. All right, let me try it another way. Right? Because we want to hear exactly what is happening on this issue. Let me see if I can do this another way. Want you guys to hear exactly what is transpiring. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Uncle Dennis. We have the viewers tuned in, and we want to get some more from you, a member of the family. Exactly what is happening as it concerns your daughter, Gladys Emmanuel.
Yes, you speak to the mother because the mother was at the hospital from the when it incident start, she called her mother. So you can talk to the mother. The
Great.
mother will explain better.
No problem.
Yes, speak to the mother.
Ma'am, a very good evening, and thank you for joining us. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. We'd be
Oh,
grateful if you can tell us a little bit about this shooting incident involving Gladys Emmanuel, your daughter.
okay. It started Wednesday morning at 12 something. I can't recall the minute, but 12 something, I got a call from her.
Uh-huh.
From her, yes. Saying, she said, Mom, I want you to come at the hospital now because I got shot. I got shot. And that is where I looked for transportation to me there. And when I met at the hospital, there was RBO standing up along with his men.
Uh-huh.
So yes, and when I met there, then I at the same time he came out from one of the room and he spoke with the doctor and he went in with the doctor.
Uh-huh.
And a minute after he came out.
Wow.
And then he told the doctor, they came out from the room. And then he told the doctor, this is the mother of the girl.
Uh-huh.
So what the hell are you now? And then doctor left to go to another room. So I asked, I say, were you with my daughter? Say, yes, I was with her. I didn't carry her out, but I offered to bring them home. So what happened? What is it? What is the problem?
Uh-huh.
Then he said, sit down. So I sat down and he said, I don't know what really happened. She stabbed herself. Then at the same time he said, I had a gun in my vehicle. I don't know what really happened. Don't worry.
Mom, you telling us the REO Karl Singh told you that your daughter stabbed herself? That is the initial thing he told you?
Yeah, that is what he said. That's what I tell you exactly what he told me at that time. In the morning. Yes, and then I said so, but then he showed me his arms. He said, look, where she scratched me. So I saw the mark on his arms, on his left arm.
Uh-huh.
So I left confused, like, so that is all what he said. And then he said, but don't worry, whatever happened, if she happened to go to Georgetown, I will stand all the expense. At the same time, when he was finished, when he was saying that, doctor came out now. So I get up and I asked the doctor if I could see my daughter because I am the mother of the girl. She said, okay, he directed me where to go now to go and see her. And that is where I left him and I go and see my daughter. And when I went to the lab now, my daughter was already unconscious. The girls tried to wake her up, and afterwards she just managed to open her eye and she said, Mom, she held my hand and she loosed my hand. And that is where they carry her to the surgery room now.
Wow.
Even morning I spent with yes. But I came home about 3 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get to work. I was waiting there to hear what the doctor said, if everything will be okay with her, but no word from them. So I decided to come home because the man who I got with is a taxi man and he wanted to come home. So I decided to come home that morning. Next morning I went back in the morning, but I didn't get to go early in the morning. Next morning I went back, but it apparently like somebody was there before me. Why I'm saying this? Because when I was there, the police meet there, two police meet there, and they wanted to take statement from her. But I tell the police, but you can't do anything right now because she's under this condition. She's where she is. I don't think she would be able to answer your question. But they insist and they stay there every time when they asking her questions. But anyway, they managed to take the statement from her, and then they asked her to sign the document, sign the statement.
And you do you have a sense what the statement said?
Excuse me, sir?
Do you have a sense of what the statement said?
Yeah, I
What
was
was she
there.
signing to?
I was there. I
Uh-huh.
heard everything what she said.
Uh-huh.
What she told the police that she was there at the place where they were, and they were about to leave. They were about to leave to come home.
Uh-huh.
She and her sister was there, and her friends. But her big sister, she already had somebody there to bring her home. So she told her sister, I wouldn't go home. I wouldn't go home with you. If you want to come with him, you could come. But they didn't left right away.
Mm-hmm.
They were there. They were there with the girl who wanted to bring her home, her big sister talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time when they came out, now my daughter now who got shot, are you offer them to bring them home? So she decided to come with him. She saw the vehicle door open, so she decided to go in the vehicle in front to wait for them until her sister decided to whether she must come with them or with the other girl. That is where now when she was there in the vehicle, sitting waiting for them, are you gone in the vehicle now? And then he said, oh my, I have my gun here. And she only hear when he cranked the gun. That is what she said.
Mm-hmm.
He cranked the gun and the gun fire off like that. She says she don't know, but it like to her was an accident.
Mm-hmm.
That's how she gave her statement.
Mm-hmm. And yet he said initially she stabbed herself. Interesting.
Yeah, that's what she said. At the first place, she said he lied to me saying that she stabbed herself, and then he said I had a gun in the vehicle. I don't know what happened, but anyway, whatever happened, I will stand all the expense.
Mm-hmm.
If she happens to go in private hospital, wherever, I will stand all the expense. That's what he said. That was his words.
Yeah, and Mom, what has happened since that time after the statement? Let's start with your daughter's health. How is she doing health-wise?
She's responding to me, is talking to me, but I don't think she wouldn't be normal anymore. The way how I saw she's going through, she gets a big cut from her abdomen and by her side.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought everything was clear. But when I gone at the station now, there I heard the police saying that he still don't understand what is going on because it's a shot.
Uh-huh.
And he only seen the entrance, but he's not seeing the exit. What happened there?
Uh-huh.
I said, I don't know. And he said he's not seeing the warhead. So I asked him, sir, what is warhead? Because I never heard about warhead.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, it's a bullet. I said, okay. So I came home that afternoon now and I told her father. And that is where now her father decided to call some doctor named Father's Church or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And they did another X-ray the same very afternoon. And this morning now they did another they did a surgery on her again by her buttocks side.
Uh-huh.
That is where yes.
Interesting.
They managed to get out, the surgeon managed to get out the bullet out of her today, this morning, like about 9 something it happened.
Wow. Wow. Well, we are happy about that. We're happy about that. Mom, has the RU or anybody acting on his behalf reached out to the family on this issue? Has any monies been offered to you and the family, to not pursue this matter legally or so on? Talk to us about that.
Okay. Yeah, when I went back the next morning, apparently like somebody went there, but she didn't want to tell me. I feel like that too because the way how I talked to her now, she said when the police went there, I told her the police is here to take statement. When she opened her eyes, her tears run down, and she said, "Mommy, anybody call Daddy?"
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Call your father." And she said, "Call him and find out."
Mm-hmm.
So I called her father now that very morning, and nobody didn't call. So after when I spoke with her now, telling her that nobody didn't call, so I asked her what what you expecting a call? Say, yeah, some lawyer supposed to call daddy. I said, well, I don't know. He said nobody didn't call him up to now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I told her. Yeah, so when I heard she giving her statement of saying that might be accident, and then I see her closely then, and I saw her kind of a mark on her neck, red and almost to her neck then, from her chest up. So I asked her, what happened here? What is it? He said, I don't know, Mom. Maybe by pressing me up, they must see. Because she had a mark on her chest part.
Mom, let me
I
ask
said,
you directly. Do you get a sense that there was a fight or a scuffle between the REO and your daughter? Do you get that sense based on the marks and so on?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to. That's how I feel about it, because it looked like she had a scramble with him.
Mm-hmm. And Mom, was any money offered to your family in any way at any point since this whole issue happened? This whole incident?
Today, like about 11 something, one of his workers went there. He said, I am here on behalf of REO. He said, I know what situation you are in. I know you're a mother and you feel for your daughter. I say, yes, I feel for my daughter. Yes. She's my child. And he said, I am here on behalf of REO. Whatever help you need and things like that, we will help. I said, and then he said, if you want 100,000 now, I could go and collect it. I said, sir, let me tell you something. My daughter's life is in danger. Right now she is struggling for life, and I don't know for how long. I don't know if she will ever recover back normal. Right? Just the other day she recovered from COVID thing, and not even 2-3 days she worked. This thing happened now, and where she is now, how long she will be there on the bed? If she will, I don't know how long she will be there without work now. Yeah. And she's the only child in the house for me now. She's 25 years of age, who helped me at home with the income. Right now, I'm not working. Her father is sick. She's not working.
So they think your daughter's life is worth $100,000.
Then he said, okay, then I was not there with them, but I am here on behalf of REO, and whatever help I'm willing to help.
What is the name of this fella who visited you, Mom?
Gladys Benedict.
No, what is the name of the guy who visited your home on behalf of the REO?
Okay. His name is Dalip. That's what he said.
Dalip.
I know him as Boogie. Yeah. His car name is Boogie.
Interesting. Mom, is there anything else you want the public to know about this issue?
Yeah, I would say my daughter. I nearly lost my daughter, and I want justice. Anything happen, any help any help I will receive is after court. It must go to the court. And I would say she wouldn't be for now. She wouldn't be working, and I want her to get her salary from the same man who destroyed her, who nearly take her life. Thank God that she's alive today.
Yeah.
And when she come out from the hospital, I am the mother who will be looking after her.
Yeah.
I don't know for how long.
Yeah.
And I don't have no kind of thing to get income from.
Yeah.
And she's the only child who living with me now up to this time, who was helping in the family.
Well, Mom,
I don't want this to go down just like this. I want justice for all our women, all our young people.
Yeah.
Our young indigenous girls. I want justice.
Yeah.
I want this thing here done. We mustn't be suffering like this all the time. Rich people mustn't be mashing us down. We have equal rights as human beings.
Very well. Very well. Mom, our thoughts and prayers with you. Go right
when
ahead,
he
ma'am.
said we willing, yeah,
Go right
when
ahead.
he said we willing to,
Go right ahead, mom. You are
okay,
about to say something. Go right ahead.
yes, I was, yeah. She said, we are willing to give you some money. I said, no, I wouldn't accept the money. Even if you offer me $10 million, that would never bring back my daughter's life.
Yeah.
I said, I could lose $10 million and work for it tomorrow and get back the same $10 million. But to lose my daughter is not like that.
Yeah.
And it's not like that you raise a child up to this age and then you see your child go like that. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Mrs. Benedict, I want to thank you for coming through and for sharing this story with us. Thank you very much. Our thoughts and prayers go to your daughter and your family, and the entire country, and those persons even overseas are praying for your family. Thanks for coming through, ma'am.
Okay.
I'll just short notice.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Great.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless you.
God bless you and your family as well. Folks, we are wishing a speedy recovery to Gladys Emmanuel. Guys, if you haven't shared the live stream ever, this is a night we invite you to share the live stream. Because these are the issues that we are highlighting. The Regional Democratic Council, Region 9, the Regional Executive Officer, Region 9, Karl Singh. You heard what mommy said. Mommy said initially he said her daughter stabbed herself. Initially he said that. Her daughter stabbed herself. Right? That's what he said initially. And then he went on to say it was an accident afterwards. Right? So apparently there was an attempt, allegedly, to mask this as a stab wound and not a gunshot wound. And then now you move to gunshot. Right? Why wasn't any family member there when this statement was being put together? And why you need to go to the bedside of a woman who has been shot in her abdomen to take a statement? Why were family members prevented from going to see her? And then you go behind their back and you take a statement in which you try to pull out of her that this was an accident. Folks, if you've never shared a live stream, this is a night to share the live stream. And when we tell you guys credible information, this is what we mean. When we say we have credible information, we are not in a propaganda tour to smear anybody for the sake of smearing people. We do our homework here and then we come to you with the facts. And that is why the theme or the mantra of our program is to promote the truth and defend the facts. And so we brought you initially the father of the victim, Gladys Emmanuel, and then the mother. And you heard the father say she was there mostly at the hospital, and she's the better person to give us the details. Look what else we're following. Right? In addition to that, folks, we are following these issues as well. We are following the accident that claimed a young teacher's life in Berbice. The director of Project Cycle Management at the Ministry of Finance was the driver of that vehicle that claimed that young life, Mr. Terachan Balgabin. He is yet to be charged. We haven't heard anything from the police on that matter. The Region 6 Vice Chairman, Zamal Hussein, he also was involved in a vehicular accident about 2 or 3 months ago in which there was a fatality. The person the vehicle hit that Zamal Hussein was driving is dead, and he is yet to be charged. We're still waiting on the file from the DPP's office, where they sent it for a legal opinion. The person knocked down on the road is dead, and Zamal is yet to be charged. And then we come to Alicia Darimple. This is a young woman from the PPP circles who bit a policeman. bit a policeman and is yet to be charged. Bit a policeman. Caught on camera. The wild, wild west. So Karl Singh shot the young woman in his abdomen, yet to be charged. And from her mother's own mouth, he told her mother she stabbed herself. Terachan Balgobin, yet to be charged, hit down young Burmese teacher over the weekend. We haven't heard anything back about that. Zamal Hussein. Interestingly, all of these people, interestingly enough, are associated with the current government. Region 6 Vice Chair Zamal Hussein, yet to be charged. Alicia Dalrymple bit a policeman. Bit a policeman. Right? Who suddenly doesn't work there any longer? Who, strange enough, doesn't work there any longer? And I was making inquiries at the police force, and I was made to understand that this policeman who Miss Alicia Dalrymple bit was transferred someplace in the force. They got in some back office pushing paper because apparently he deserved the bite that he got. So these are the issues that we are following, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I would love to hear from some of you if you guys want to call. I would love to hear from some of you, right? We might have to take the program into overtime to give a couple of you the opportunities, but you have heard the issues. 627-6963 is the number, and I'd love to hear from some of you this evening. 627-6963 is that number. It's pocketory, people. These folks have not been charged as yet. And while I wait for a call or two, some additional things that are on our dashboard this evening. Mercedes-Benz going down Mandela Avenue on the back road, burst into flames. Pocketory burst into flames. A Mercedes-Benz. Every day in this country is some madness. Right? Salaries pending. Some people not getting the salaries on time. Pandemic, national flood, pocketory. We know at least at the Ghana Lands and Surveys, employees were already informed that they aren't getting salaries on time this month. Folks, if you didn't share the live stream any other night, tonight's a good night. Salaries late. Pocketory. On the COVID front. This was the scene at Amelia's Ward, Linden. The president telling us they're serious about COVID. Right? But they are not adhering to their own COVID measures. This was the scene at Amelia's Ward where they went to give out the Because We Care cash grant. They care? Today, Ali said, we got to get tough with people who don't want to take the vaccine. Now, his government says that refusing to take the vaccine, they are not illegal. It is not illegal to refuse to take the vaccine. That's what Ali said. And yet, on the other hand, they're telling us that they have to get tough against the unvaccinated. I want y'all know Biden watching y'all. Biden watching. So I don't know what get tough mean. Whether you're disappearing people into some black holes, whether you're locking people up, what does getting tough entails? And then the chief of staff, Godfrey Best, of the Ghana Defense Force, right, is defending compulsory vaccination in the army. Yet the government says it is illegal to mandate people to take the vaccine. There is no mandatory vaccination. The president said we got to get tough with people who refusing to take the vaccine. The chief of staff defends compulsory vaccination in the army. Folks, I don't know where we're going. I don't know where we're going, but like we're going there in a hurry. 627-6963. I think I can take a couple calls. I got some other things on the dashboard, but I don't want to put them on you this evening. We are right on program time. If we get a couple of calls coming in, I'm going to see how best we can take them. 627-6963. WhatsApp call. Please don't call ordinary phone. That's why I was having some challenges early on with that phone call. So I apologize for the quality of that phone call early on. WhatsApp calls only. 627-6963. We can take a couple calls as we go into overtime on the program. I want to know what you thought of what the parent, the mother, right, Mrs. Benedict, said about her daughter. Right, so you can WhatsApp call 627-6963. WhatsApp call. I'd love to hear from you guys. 627-6963. I would love to hear from some of you guys this evening. 627 again. 6963. 627-6963. And I hope this comes through on WhatsApp for us, guys. But that is the information as it is. We wanted to share some additional information with you, but I'm going to hold on that. A very good evening. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Sher. Let me ask you something. Now,
Definitely, these matters can be raised. Again, as far as I know, there's no statute of limitations. If there's an illegality that was done, something unlawful, they can be pursued.
good.
All right, sir. Thanks for coming through.
Yes.
If you do wrong, you have to face the consequences. That's the point I was making. Right? 627-6963. You got to face the consequences. Talk back Thursday, folks. Great to hear from some of you. So we can take this one. A very good evening. Go right ahead. Let's fight. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for coming through. All right. I think we got time for one more call, and then we're going to call it a night here. One more call, and guys, as you're on, I invite each and every one of you to share the live stream. Share the live stream, guys. We are still we are still on. We want to hear at least from one other caller on this Talk Back Thursday. 627-6963. We want to hear from you guys, at least one other caller, before we bring the curtains down on this evening's program. A very good evening. Let's fight. Go right ahead, sir. Which place is that, sir? All right. I'm going to have to come myself. Right? I'm going to have to come myself. Thanks very much. All right, Chief. Good. Thanks. And folks, there you have it. We're going to leave it there. Thanks for joining our program. The hundreds of you who joined this evening, do remember to share the live stream for us. Sanitize, social distance, wear your mask. Don't be like these people we have to deal with in this government. A very good evening. Final caller. Go right ahead, sir.
think we should have small.
Thanks very much for that suggestion. Thanks very much for that that thought there, and we're going to look into that. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you. Folks, we're going to leave it there this evening. Thanks for joining us again. Sanitize, social distance, wear your mask. Folks, practice all the COVID-19 protocols that are in place for your health and for your safety. Final caller. Go right there. Let's fight. What's on your mind? Guys, we're going to leave it there. Have a great evening, and we're going to see you guys right back here tomorrow evening. Stay safe.